Hello everybody. In this lesson we're going to be looking at a type of verbal reasoning called hidden four-letter word. Okay, so as usual I'll go through one all by myself. Although to be honest with you, this type of verbal reasoning, although it can be challenging, what it is you need to do is pretty straightforward. That doesn't mean it's easy, it just means the instructions are easy, right? So I'll do the first one by myself and then we can talk a little bit about how we might solve them all by ourselves. And then we'll give it a go. And what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to focus on speed. So for the first set of questions, we'll have generous time, about 60 seconds. For the next set, we'll have 30 seconds. And for the final set, we'll have 15 seconds. Not a lot of time. That's the standard, the 15-second one, okay? Okay, right. So let me do this one all by myself. Let me read the instructions to you first. It says, look at the sentence below. Within it, there is a hidden four-letter word made from the end of one word and the beginning of the next. Look carefully and try to find where the hidden word appears. So we have a sentence on the screen, the big bold sentence in the middle, which says, the last train arrives tomorrow at 4:30. Okay, now what we need to do is look for the hidden, the secret, the mystery four-letter word. And like the instructions say, the four-letter word must begin at the end of one word and end at the beginning of the next. So just for an example, now obviously this isn't correct. It might be something like this. Yeah, do you see? We have a four-letter word there. And it's the first part of the word is within one word and the next part is within the next word, okay? But T-H-E-L, thel, isn't a word, okay? But that's the approach, all right? So we've got to go through the sentence until we find it. Now, when you're quite new to this, one technique that works for some people is to use a ruler or to use something rectangular. And what you can do is sort of cover the entire sentence and then you can drag that ruler like this, right, until you notice a four-letter word. So our next word, last, right, what I'm going to do is check to see if AST and then the next letter, ASTT, makes a word, and it doesn't, does it? Okay? And then I'll keep dragging it along until I can find a four-letter word. So some of the options would be, it could be three letters in one word and one in the next. It could be two letters in one word and two in the next, but we consider STTR isn't a word. Or it could be one letter in one word and three in the next, but it has to be four letters. And yet we still haven't found our word. Now, the only other thing to talk about is another approach, and probably the best approach, is to actually look at the options, okay? Because here, we can see the words broken down for us. We've only got two words to look at a time, yeah? And maybe by looking at those, we're less overwhelmed and we can more easily see the hidden four-letter word. Now, I'm going to tell you where it is. You may have seen it already, but the answer is right here. Do you see option D? V-E-S-T, vest. Because that's a real word, isn't it? And it's stretched across two words. We've got the V-E-S in one word and the T in the next word. So vest would be the correct answer. And here it is in the bigger sentence, vest. All right? Makes sense? So we're going to do it all by ourselves now. Now, as I said at the start, to begin with, we're going to have 60 seconds per question. That's a lot of time. We won't need all that, hopefully. If we do, it just means we need to practice, that's all. But as the lesson progresses, the time that we have is going to get shorter. All right, so let me set my timer. And as soon as I've set it, I'll show you your first question. Okay, right, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Ava? Well done, Alexa. Well done, Theo. Well done, Hannah. Well done, Harry and Oscar. Well done, Scarlett. Well done, George. Well done, Emmett. Well done, Chrissy. 3, 2, 1. All right, 1 minute is up. Now, I don't know how that felt for you. Perfect, Florence, that's correct. I don't know how that felt for you in terms of time, but that was probably too much time for this sort of question, okay? Hence why we're making the time shorter as the lesson goes on. But for now, we've got a couple more questions left with 60 seconds, okay? Right, let's go to Scarlett. Scarlett, what's the answer to this question?
So the answer to this question is D. And so first, if we look at they worry, there isn't a word, but there isn't a word that's haywor, awo, YWOR, and so that we can rule out A. And then I and then ORRYT isn't a word.
Yeah,
R
honestly, Scarlett, don't worry about going through all of them or you're going to get exhausted. Bless you.
Okay, so the answer is D, much all, because if you go to the H at the end of much and then add all on the end, you get whole.
Perfect. And Scarlett, did you look at the options or did you just look at the sentence itself?
The options.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, everyone's different. Some people like to look at the entire sentence, whilst others look at the options. In any case, all is correct. So well done. And well done if you said that. And if you didn't, do not worry. We're practicing. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. So, 3, 2, 1. Perfect, Oscar. Perfect, Jordan. Perfect, Ava. Perfect, Florence. Perfect, George. Perfect, Scarlett. Perfect, Era. Perfect, Himani. Okay, our time is up. Again, don't worry if you didn't see it. This one's a bit trickier, actually, isn't it? Well done, Uma. I'm not sure why. I can't put my finger on why, but for some reason, this one's trickier. I don't know. I think it's because of the double vowels in what the answer is. Kind of throws us a little bit. But what do you guys think? Okay, let's go to Ava.
So the answer is C, because if you do the S on is and the E, A, and S on easier, you get C's.
Perfect. And did you look at the sentence itself, or did you go straight to the options?
Kind of both.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a good idea actually to look at both. And actually, I'm glad Ava said that because sometimes there might be more than one four-letter word in the actual sentence, but there will only be one option within the one answer within the options. Okay. In other words, let's imagine right now that there was another four-letter word like here. I know there isn't. It would mean that than and regular wouldn't be an option. Okay, that's all. That's why it's kind of good to look at both. All right, so we've got one more question with 60 seconds, and then we're going to halve our time. Okay, so we've got to be a lot quicker. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Ava? I think it's another tricky one. Well done, Florence. Well done, Himani. Okay, 10 seconds. All right. Time's up. Okay, now, do not worry if you didn't get the answer. I haven't seen your answer yet, Alexa. Do you want to give this one a go?
Okay. So, for the first one, we have the zoo, and we can see the last letter of the is E. So, we've got the first letter is E, and the rest of the letters is zoo, which is a whole word. So, I don't think E zoo is a word. Then, after, we have the word zoo, and then we have O as the last letter, like pause as the like other three letters. So, O pause, I don't think that's a word either.
But remember, it could also be like here, ZOOP.
Oh
That
yeah,
might, I mean, that isn't a word, but that we need
yeah.
to consider that as well.
Then after we have possessed, and we have the last letter as D, and the other three letters as A, B, and E. And Dave, I don't think like that's a word. Or like, and then we have uh A. Wait, A is a uh. Wait, yeah, A is a word. So then we have got A with B, E, and W, and then we have abu, and I also don't think that's a word.
Okay.
Then after we have bewildered, and the last word is D, so we have our first one, and then O, R, and A are the other three letters, so Dora. That's a name, but not a word. So
Good.
that's how.
What
Then
about the other
four,
letters here? What about
oh
all these
yeah,
letters?
redo.
Good.
Yeah, redo.
Perfect. Well done, Alexa. Very, very good. Yeah, redo. So we've got RED in the end at the end of one word, and O at the beginning of the next. It's 4 letters. It's a real word, so redo must be correct. Okay, well done, guys. Now time is about to be halved. Okay, so you have to work a little bit quicker, and that's only stage 2. We're going to halve it again towards the end. Okay, so 30 seconds per question. I'm going to be really strict though, guys. Once 30 seconds is up, we must stop. And there's nothing like if you feel that it wasn't enough time, that's no problem. At least you know what question type that you might want to practice a bit. Okay. All right. Let me set my timer. 3, 2, 1. Well done, Florence. Saw that really quickly. Well done, Alexa. Well done, Ragnar. Well done, Scarlett. 10 seconds left. Well done, Oscar. Well done, Ava. Well done, Jordan. 5 seconds. Well done, Ira. Well done, Gersima. All right. 2, 1, 0. Okay. Yeah, a couple of you are putting answers, and the words that you're putting in the chat box are not real words. Perfect, Hannah, that's correct. So do make sure that your word is a real word. Now, I understand that you might feel like a word is real. Perhaps you found a four-letter word that you've never heard of before, and that can be a bit tough. But if you do find a word and it doesn't sound right, and you're not certain it's a real word, it's probably worth looking for another word, okay? Because four-letter words, most of them we probably do know. Anyway, let's go through this question. So, who did we spoke to? Alexa, didn't we? So let's go to Era.
I think the answer is A, because if you compare the is a three letter, so we can just start with the three letters of the. So THER isn't a word, so we don't have to rule it out. We can still check the other letters. So HERO, here that spells out hero.
Amazing. Perfect. Very good. Do you know, although you guys didn't really show it then, sometimes when the word's right at the beginning, it gets missed because a lot of students are very eager to scan the entire word. So their eyes sort of run from the beginning of the sentence all the way to the end really quickly, kind of forgetting the beginning part. So well done if you noticed that. Amazing. Yes, hero is correct. Okay, 30 seconds for the next question starts in 3, 2, 1. Ten seconds. Well done, Oscar. 5 seconds. Well done, Ava. 3, 2, 1. Well done, Jordan. 0. Good speed. Well done, guys. Hermione, good. Harry, yeah, be careful, guys. Some of you are putting the right words, but then you put in the wrong options. So you might be saying like the answer is E, year. So just be careful, yeah. Okay, perfect, Hannah. That's correct. Right, let's go to Himani. Himani, did you manage to find the hidden word?
Yes,
Where is it?
it's like the answers actually can I say the answer?
Yeah.
The answer's E because the answer is D because if you look at the Y, it spells YEAR year. So like if you were in year 5, it would be the same thing.
Perfect. Yeah, year is a real word. Well found. Well done if you noticed that, guys. And very well done because you can feel that the time is getting a bit tighter. But remember, after the next question, we're going to 15 seconds per question, which is really, really tough. And honestly, I do expect that it will be too challenging, maybe. So it's just a bit of a challenge. So when we get there, don't worry too much if the time goes a bit too quickly. Okay. All right. For the final time, with 30 seconds, let's take a look at the next question. 3, 2, 1. Oops. Let me try that again. 3, 2, 1. Perfect, Hannah. Perfect, Himani. 5 seconds left. Perfect, Oscar. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Let me take a look at your answers. Perfect, Emma. Perfect, Perfect. George. Perfect. Ragnar. Perfect. Harry. Perfect. Scarlett. Perfect. Ava. Perfect. Florence. Perfect. Jordan. Perfect. Gersima. Perfect. Chrissy. Perfect. Alexa. Okay. Let's go through it. So, who did we speak? We spoke to Himani last, didn't we? So, Gersima, what do you reckon?
So I reckon that it's a E with anger because in E you can see that there's a two there, than and hand.
Awesome. And does it really matter that there's two, Gersima?
No,
Good.
not
The
at
answer's
all.
perfect. Yeah, well done, Gersima. Well noticed as well, actually. No, it doesn't, does it? They're both there. They're both valid. They're both four letters. So it's still going to be the same answer. It's going to be answer E. Let me just put a mark on the screen for those that might have missed it. There we go. Hang. Or than. Than, hang. Yeah. Right. We've arrived at 15 seconds per question. This is tough, guys. I mean, you probably already feel that 30 seconds is a bit harsh. Now, let me just quickly explain something, right? Doing these questions on a test paper compared to doing them on your laptop or your tablet or whatever you're doing it on right now, there is, it takes you longer to, find the answer and then type the answer in the chat box. So on paper, you might feel 15 seconds is a bit more generous. So how about we do this? We say 20 seconds because it will be 15 seconds for you to find the word, and then we'll allow ourselves 5 seconds to write it in the chat box, because I know that takes a few seconds, doesn't it? Yeah, then it's a bit more reasonable for you guys. But obviously on paper, it's easier to get those answers down. So we're going to have 20 seconds, but really 15 to find the answer, okay? All right, let me get my timer up. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, gonna allow you a bit of time to send your answers, but our time to actually find the word has finished. So I'm just going to check through your answers. Right on the era. This is a tough one. And I can tell it's tough because we've got a lot of different answers. And don't worry, guys, 15 seconds is really harsh. But we're challenging ourselves, yeah? We're challenging ourselves. As long as you understand what it is you're supposed to be doing, and as long as you don't take too long, we're all good. This is just a bit of a challenge, okay? All right, well done, Gersima, that's correct. Well done, Florence, that's correct. It is hard. But when I show you, you'll see it immediately. Perfect, Ava. Okay, we went to Gersima last, didn't we? So that means we need to go to Ragnar. All right, Ragnar, what do you reckon?
I didn't get to work this one out.
No problem. Let me go to George.
I found a C because I found in the middle, if you go look, it says juice.
You found, so can you say that again, George?
If you look in in engage use, you'll see, if you check on the D, you'll see the word juice. Juice.
Oh, juice is in like a drink?
No, like D-U-S-E.
Okay, D-U-S-E. What does that mean?
I'm not sure, but that's the only thing I could think of doing.
Do you know what? That's actually really good though, George, and I like that. Even though you wasn't sure it's a word, you picked a word that kind of sounds all right. And sometimes in an exam we might have to do that. If we really, really can't find an answer, why don't we pick one that kind of sounds reasonable? So it's not a word, but good. I love what you did. Very good. Whilst one more person, let's go to Florence. Florence, did you spot the word?
I think that is A, because if you see, it says ETCH, which spells the word out etch.
Very good, Florence. Fantastic. Amazing. Yes, as Florence said, I'll do it up here so it's easier to see. We've got ETCH. Yeah. I don't know why, but it does seem to be that when when the words split in half, so two and one, two the other, those are the ones that seem to get most people. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure of the psychology behind it or whether there is any. But I mean, it was proven by you guys today because I think most of us found that one a bit tricky. But remember, don't worry about finding things tricky, okay? It's one of the points of being here, actually, to make sure that we sort of know quickly the question types that we need a bit more practice with. Okay, we've got one more question with 15 seconds, but again, we'll have 20, so you can type it. So be as quick as you can. 3, 2, 1. Well done, Hannah. Well done, Scarlett. Well done, Harry. Well done, Oscar. Well done, Chrissy. Okay, our time's up. So get those answers sent if you can. Perfect, Jordan. Perfect, Gersima. Okay, let's go to Oscar. Oscar, what did you notice?
I noticed that A says redo.
Straight in with it. That's what I like. Perfect, Oscar. Redo. We've got redo again. Yeah, redo once more. We had it earlier, and here it is again. Well done, Oscar. Brilliant. All right, well done, guys. Let's quickly summarise a couple of things before we finish. First thing I want to talk about is if you find this question type tough, right, don't immediately challenge yourself with finding the answer within 15 seconds. What I would suggest is, if we go back to the first question we looked at today, this one, I'll tell you how to find some more examples of these on the internet in a second, but find some examples. Maybe grab a ruler, preferably not a transparent ruler, and then sort of drag it along the sentence, comparing all possible options. So remember, we could have 3 letters in one word and 1 in the next, 2 in one, 2 in the next, 1 in one word, 3 in the next. It's got to be 4 letters, okay? And then just try doing that for a while, yeah? And sort of practice, like, practice focusing your attention on the beginnings and ends, or the ends and beginnings of consecutive words. After you've done that for a while and you're starting to feel more confident, then maybe we can start focusing on sort of scanning and seeing if anything jumps out at us. In other words, no tools, no aids, just looking at it as quickly as you can and seeing if anything jumps out. But of course, the best option is to consider the options themselves rather than the actual sentence, okay? All right, well done, guys.